Nikkei Stock Average crashed down to 26,000 yen on 27th January and now is on recovery trend. But this temporary crash down lost its overall stock worth about 3 trillion yen at this time in Japan. And now it is an unpredictable situation, and it is not really strange when this crash down will happen again in Japanese stock market. But this is the very first great crash down after the Prime Minister Kishida assumed this position. And his policy and his thought definitely appeared in Nikkei Stock Average. And now he's trying to enforce the policy to reduce the amount of stock return that is originally paid to shareholders or the investors by taxation. And he's trying to distribute the amount of stock returns obtained by taxation to Japanese laborers. So concretely, he's trying to set out the policy to increase financial income taxation and strengthen the taxation policy to wealthy class in Japan. So he always says that this is new capitalism, but obviously the best part of the policy that he set up now is it's rather close to socialism. So just by looking, it is a really fair system for Japanese laborers who have much less earnings and suffer from living in Japanese society. However, principally no justifiable returns or evaluation for the risk that shareholders or investors take will bring about the result that investors around the world will decide not to invest in the Japanese stock market. And to make a matter worse, Japanese companies are forced into really hard battle to raise funds from Japanese stock market. So Japanese companies corporate strength is going to get weaker, and Japanese corporate productivity is going down dramatically. So in the meantime, the stock price of the Japanese company is going down as well, and eventually the foreign investors end up giving up the Japanese stock market to invest. So Japan will fall into chronic endless deflation spiral. So that's why I think the Japanese government really need to pay close attention to decision making if it set up more hard regulation to financial income taxation. So what I want to say here is Nikkei Stock Average is a very important indicator to let us know the Japanese economic system. And in other words, roughly this is a Japanese business barometer. So in Nikkei stock market, if Nikkei stock market average went really down, nobody would really want to start business in Japan to aim for IPO, and new employment will not generate in a Japanese society in the future, and probably unemployment rate would go up seriously, and probably wealthy investors living in Japan would run away from this country. So this is not really good economic cycle. So I just really want the Japanese government to rethink about this policy